Welcome to JFP Sports, where fantasy and sports talk lives. Well, we got a little sicko mode there. Ricky P still filling in for behind the glass man, D Nanas. Rick, week 16, it's come fast and furious in the NFL. Fantasy people out there, they have their championship Sunday coming up and Saturday games. What do you like about week 16? Who are you playing? Who's your dynamite guy that you want to start the week off with, that you think has the best matchup?
Best matchup? I'd say the Colts.
Yeah.
I think the Colts are at home. They're like a 10-point favorite. Andrew Luck, I think he's been a top 5 quarterback. If we look through all the top quarterbacks, Breeze has been struggling. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, his team's 5-8-1. Brady's not Brady. I can make the argument that the two best quarterbacks would be Phillip Rivers this week or Andrew Luck, but I choose Andrew Luck only because they're home, which is obviously a big thing. They're going into Giants who, let's be honest, they're 5-9. They probably mailed it in for the most part. And Phillip Rivers has that Raven defense that always plays them tough there. I still don't like that there's really no home field advantage for the Chargers. They play in the StubHub Center. It's like playing in LA. It's not really like people don't care too much. And the Ravens defense, they travel well and they keep the ball. And I think Phillip Rivers, this might be like a 2017 type game. But we'll break it down more. I would say Andrew Luck is my guy to focus on.
Nice. And that, I really do love a little bit of Naeem Hines.
Yeah, he's actually picked it up. It's been weird. It's been Hines. Then it was Mac. Now it's back to Hines again. It's just a very fluid situation.
Don't you just see how different it looks, Andrew Luck, with an offensive line? Quentin Nelson, that pick, they've really cashed in.
He's a Pro Bowler. Other than Saquon Barkley, would he not be Rookie of the Year on offense? I make the argument that he would be. I think he's a better player than Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
I just think Saquon's numbers have just been so outstanding on a team that's bad that you have to give it to him. But, I love Quentin Nelson.
Now, I must warn the viewers, Puma, myself, is coming off a very sour note. Week 15 wasn't good for me, coming off the bye in fantasy. I did lose to one of my counterparts, John Russo, who took it from me.
Break it down a little. Break the matchup
I'll break down the matchup a little bit for you because it's very frustrating. You want to hear my team, guys? Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. You have Ezekiel Elliott, Alvin Kamara, and I just traded Michael Thomas for Keenan Allen. But here's
what do you mean just? Like a few
right before the deadline, which was week 14.
Okay.
I traded Michael Thomas for Keenan Allen just because I couldn't take going into the playoffs knowing the inconsistency of Michael Thomas.
It's 25 or 5, maybe.
Right, and Breeze is spreading the ball around. And third option, I didn't want two guys on the same offense because every time I felt I was losing out on somebody on each drive, no matter who would score. And after Keenan Allen, I had Julian Edelman in my wide receiver 2. Zach Ertz in my tight end 1, obviously.
Oh, this is shaping up as a bad
my
week.
Flex was
it Amari?
DJ Moore.
Oh, DJ Moore. Who's irrelevant.
I was riding Jarvis Landry for a while, but who's going to trust him in a playoff game?
No.
And then my defense was the Buffalo Bills going against the Lions, and it was Matt Prater, kicker, Lions.
Well, see, all right, before we get into it, if you watch, like we watch, play-by-play, you already know Puma had a bad week. Ertz was irrelevant.
Right.
Zeke was not Zeke, really.
Michael
Thomas was pretty much a no-show for most of the night.
Well, I didn't have Michael Thomas.
I meant Keenan Allen, you would have loved Michael Thomas.
I would have loved, and Keenan I still would have lost. But yeah,
Keenan Allen, did he have anything? Did he leave?
0.
So I didn't know if he had a catch
0.
before. I know he had the hit pointer, but I didn't know if he had a catch before.
If you're gonna be hurt, at least be hurt 5 minutes before the game, not 5 minutes into the game.
Right, or at least come down the touchdown catch if you're gonna not have anything. How many did he lose by? Before I get to my other point.
Oof.
Was it close?
108-94.
So it was a bad matchup. He didn't do well either because that's bad.
And because he had Drew Brees. I'll give you John LaRusso.
Drew Brees was a virtual no-show.
Right, he got 3 points, 4 points. Okay,
Right,
I'll give you his roster now. Drew Brees, Saquon Barkley, who had
nothing.
The worst week. You would want to play him. Sony Michel, 5 points.
Yeah, that's another no-show.
Who else? Dante Pettis.
He was okay. I mean, you would have.
No, I'm sorry. Dante Pettis.
Who on paper I'd rather have Keenan Allen.
Eli McGuire in the flex.
So, that's a bad team. That's a very bad team.
Nuke Hopkins.
Who showed out.
Okay, that's the killer. And the tight end was, come on, Johnny, what was your tight end? Oh, Travis Kelce, 13 points.
Wasn't anything great.
Butker, the kicker.
Yeah.
4 points. And his defense was Detroit. So that game was the battle of the defenses.
Right. From your perspective, on paper, I would say you would win 8 to 9 out of 10 times. This is being the one-off game. The only thing that bothers me, I don't like when a player on my offense is going against my defense. And you had that with Prater. Now, out of all the players, if I had to pick, that would be the one, the kicker, because you're hoping if it's extra points, it's not that big of a deal. And a field goal is not really that bad. I really, really hate it unless you have like a Bears defense and unless you have like a DeAndre Hopkins or a Saquon or someone that like you have to start.
I was banking on coming from my thought process. The Bills have done some nice things the week before.
They have.
Facing Stafford and the Lions, Stafford has been very inconsistent.
That's very true.
No wide receiver. All he had was
Kenny Galladay, who actually played decently.
Who you would probably think would be shadowed by Tre'Davious White.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And no tight end, no running game, no Kerryon Johnson.
No, well, it was Stafford or nothing.
It was Stafford or nothing, and that's what led to my belief of Prater, because the drives would stop.
Once they got to the red zone.
Maybe by God chance, he would hit a 50-yarder.
What was the score of that game?
Oh, my God. 16-13 or something like that.
Who won?
The Bills.
Oh, the Bills won. Okay.
So
Prater did get you a few field goals.
No, he got me one because he missed an extra point.
Oh, he missed. Oh, okay. It was okay.
It was accumulated by 2-point conversions, all that other stuff, which kills you if you have the kicker.
Right. Okay.
So leading into it, I'm like, okay, I got a chance. Dumb and Dumber. I got a chance.
You should look. I think we could say in terms of like A through F matchups, on paper, that's a bad matchup. And it played out as a bad match.
And he just lucked out that if Keenan Allen would have got me 12, I would have been in the driver's seat. He got me 0. I want to pray to whoever he's praying to.
Right. So that's a bad
and
matchup.
The Jets naturally find a way to kill me, even in fantasy.
Right.
I can't get away from that.
Yeah, that happened to me too. I lost 153 to 130 and change. So I had a solid week. The thing that killed me was the Jets game. DeAndre Hopkins, Kaimi Fairbairn had 22 points. There's nothing I can do about that. And Deshaun Watson, 22. I lost on that large touchdown to DeAndre Hopkins. You take that play away, and I win.
Right.
You take away Fairbairn, I pretty much win.
Oh, wow. We didn't even talk. You lost too. Shoot.
Yeah, I lost
This
too.
is like decompress a moment on JFP Sports.
I'd be more upset in your position.
Oh, yeah.
Because my team on paper, if we break my team down coming into the playoffs, no Kareem Hunt,
right.
no AJ Green. We're just banged up all over the place. Then James Conner.
Mine was just underachieving.
Right. So at least I can say
you had
on paper, I would say I have a top 2 team.
Right.
In my league. I was better than this team coming into it. It wouldn't have been close. To 150, I would have been. Granted, and Tyler Boyd gets hurt halfway through the game too. So between 3 guys getting injured, I had 4 guys injured at some point that really affects my season between Spencer Ware, Tyler Boyd, AJ Green, James Conner. Now I throw in Kareem Hunt. That's more than half of my team. The fact that I even had 130 is barring a miracle. I mean, you can't. When a kicker is 22 points, what am I supposed to do? When a wide receiver is 39, what am I supposed to do? So, look. And this is, I think the moral of the story is this is fantasy. This is why they play the games. Honestly, it's nice to have the better team on paper, but you always have a chance.
So let's
jump into real football.
Absolutely, because the therapeutic,
the
therapy about this is let's not stay too much on the negative, and we want to stray on the positive.
Right.
So there is football still to be played, even though Ricky and our hopes are dashed and all that other stuff.
Right.
Phillip Rivers and the LA Chargers, best team in the AFC.
I say they're
after
the most,
that great Thursday night game. Come on.
Yes. I'd say they're the most complete team. I don't think they're the best team.
I think very balance orientated.
Yes. The only problem I see with the LA Chargers is if they catch someone on the wrong day. And what I mean by that is, look, if they run into, I'm going to assume the Chiefs get home field advantage. If the records stay the same, the Chiefs will. So I say that to go into Arrowhead is very, very difficult.
Absolutely.
The Chargers are going to be the 5 seed, and they're most likely going to have to face New England.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Ravens or the
Chargers.
Steelers. Right, the Chargers.
Well, they would come to LA.
No.
Oh, you're talking about
the
LA
Chargers would be the 5 seed.
Oh, you're talking about them as a wild card.
Right. I'm going to assume that the Chiefs win, and the Chargers. Look, I hate to say this. Houston looks like they're going to be the 2 seed. They've rattled off I don't know how many games now.
Yeah.
To go into Pittsburgh, to go into Baltimore, to go into New England is not it's just not an easy proposition. If they were going to I think they have a better chance in Houston than I would them going to Baltimore, to be honest with you, because that defense, or Pittsburgh or whatever, these places are tough to play. So I think if you had the Chiefs and the Chargers flip-flopped, I'd be with you. I think the Chiefs on their best day are better than the Chargers. Mm-hmm. I think at home it helps too. The defense has actually gotten a little bit better. Could we say that?
Yes.
And they should have won that game. They were up 28-14 with 5 minutes left, and the Chiefs go 3 and out. And look, they were better for 3.5 quarters of the game.
The thing with the Kansas City defense is, okay, they're a great team, but the defense is bend, don't break. Well, that was for a couple of weeks. They broke finally. And broke in a big way. And, I can't blame them too much because the LA Chargers, they could score. Let's
they can.
They're a top 5
team. I think we have to see what Keenan Allen does, but that's a side point.
Right.
If he's out for an extended period of time, which we don't think he will.
Well, here's the thing. In my misery is someone else's
glory.
And I believe because Keenan Allen is hurt, this makes way for the great Mike Williams, the first-round pick from a year ago. From Clemson. I believe this kid is special. I believe when I was watching that game with Deshaun Watson that against Alabama, he was going off. He was making some catches that I'm like, this kid's going to be
him and Hunter Renfrow. Yeah.
Right, absolutely. So fast forward now, a year and a half later, 2 years, I believe Mike Williams will emerge as the true number 1 for the LA Chargers and their future. And with, Keenan Allen out, I think it provides him with that opportunity. Also, too, they have Travis Benjamin, Tyrell Williams. I'm not too sure about Eckler's status, but I know Melvin
Gordon should be back.
Melvin Gordon's looking good. And you know what? I think Justin Jackson is the better alternative anyway.
To Eckler?
Yes. Running between the tackles,
I agree.
so to speak.
Eckler's got that Danny Woodhead-ish.
Northeastern. He did that. Was it Northeastern, Northwestern?
Justin Jackson was Northwestern.
Northwestern. Okay. West or East, whatever. It's just an E or a W. Anyway, so you got Justin Jackson, who I think is the better runner between the tackles and could relieve Melvin Gordon. I think they're a complete team. And you know what? I'm going to say they are the best team in the AFC. Here's why. They have a defense. I think their defense is better than New England. I think their defense is better than Houston. And you know what? They're definitely better than the Kansas City Chiefs. I think that's that pass rushing ability. We're not even mentioning Derwin James, who fell to them in the draft.
Derwin James was a steal, but
future Cam Chancellor. You have Casey Hayward in the back. These are guys that don't get noted a lot, but have done a lot for the Kansas City D. And Joey Bosa coming off the edge.
No, yeah,
fabulous.
Look, I'm not disagreeing, but what I do want to say
is it more because of Phillip Rivers has always let you down.
Yeah, that, and I think
history has shown.
Mahomes is clearly the MVP.
Of course, yes.
I don't. People that are telling me Drew Brees, where's he been in the month of December?
Exactly.
And I shouldn't say that. They're still winning games, so I don't want to say it's not like he's collapsed. But they're winning with Mahomes despite of the defense.
Right.
That run defense for the Saints
and
has
no
been better.
Kareem Hunt, by the way.
Right, and no Kareem Hunt. So we're using a guy Damien Williams who had no effect coming into the season.
Right, his mind is still in Miami.
Right, they do have Kelsey and they do have Hill, but they have no defense. Eric Berry just came back. Look, I mean, I think Mahomes has taken the league by storm. So I'm going to say the Chiefs on their best day. Do I trust the Chiefs more? No, because I don't trust Andy Reid in the playoffs, but I also don't trust Phillip Rivers. If we're going off trust, I really say I trust the Patriots, but I just don't think they have it this year. I really don't.
I totally agree with you. So this leads into the next segment. Who will win the AFC East? And judging from you, I'm thinking it's Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going to say Kansas City.
You're going to say Kansas City.
It's 2 games. Look, they go to Seattle this week.
Same record.
Yeah, does Seattle pose any problems to me? Don't really think so. If we go to Week 17, the Chiefs have a chance to seal it, and then what?
Who
Who's
going to be
in
in
there?
17? The Chiefs.
The Raiders at home.
Okay.
So they got 1 game. They win this, they're essentially a lock for the division. So what is it? It's not too far out of the reach to say that they can go 2-0. Unlike the Chargers, who have the Ravens this week, which is a tough matchup, and then they got to go to Denver. Mm-hmm. So the only way the Chargers lock it up,
winning out.
They got to win out,
and
they got to hope the Chiefs lose this week.
Right.
They're not losing to the Raiders at home. I don't care. We can make an argument for it. The Raiders are playing better, but they're not losing it.
I agree to you to some extent. I think the Chiefs lose this week in Seattle. I think that
But that's also assuming the Chargers win out.
Right, that's assuming that the Chargers
There's
win
more
out.
of a chance that there's more of a chance that the Chiefs win out than the Chargers win out.
Of course, because they have the better, easier schedule, I would say.
Oh, clearly the easier schedule.
You know, where they're coming from, Baltimore is a good team, who I think will, catch a seed, hopefully. And
They should.
They should. Like a 5 or a 6. And
it'd be the 6.
Yeah.
Because the Chargers are the 5, and they're clearly ahead.
Right.
They're like 2 or 3 games.
And it's so funny. Well,
the Ravens might catch the division.
Yeah.
The way it comes.
But going back to that point, I believe the Chargers will finish it out. I mean, they have to play a division game with Denver. Vance Joseph might be coaching for his future.
Yeah, he might
right there. So you never know. But I say the inevitable will happen, and the Chargers will win out. Chiefs lose a game. Chiefs are the 5 seed.
I wouldn't take that bet, but we can move on.
We can move on, but I will. Okay, starts and sits, my friends. Fantasy for Week 16. I guess you could take our advice. We're both out of it, so that's what we do best. We'll just keep talking, and hopefully you'll keep listening. So starts and sits. Rick, what's your start of the week?
I said it was Andrew Luck. I'm very, very high on him. I wasn't coming into the season because when I hear he barely could move his neck, he can't move his shoulder, we don't know what type of line he's going to have. I said, stay away, stay away, stay away. I caught Mahomes on a pickup. I didn't even have to draft him, so that worked out. But that Giant defense will have no chance. Absolutely no chance. And I think the Colts shut out the Cowboys last week, but I don't really think they played their best game. I really don't. I think it was like 17-0. The Colts couldn't find anything. The Cowboys couldn't find a thing. And the Colts did enough on offense. I think this week they really come out and pound the Giants. I don't really see it being close, to be honest.
You're sit.
Spencer Ware. We talked about this. It seems like anyone who starts in the Chiefs' offense as a running back is productive. Kareem Hunt would be productive.
It's kind
of
similar
anywhere.
to the Pittsburgh offense,
right? And that's what we were talking about systems, especially for running back. Yeah. If you're a wide receiver, you create your own separation.
Absolutely.
Even Josh Rosen can find you. At this point, you need to be in a good system. A Jets running back is just going to fail. So Spencer Ware, he's dinged up. In theory, he should be the number 1 over Damien Williams, but no one could look at last week's game versus the Chargers and say Damien Williams doesn't deserve at least a committee. So I would stay away. I'd be willing to play Damien Williams, who's fully healthy, more than Spencer Ware, who's coming back to a committee. When he left, he was by himself, comes back to a committee. Had Damien Williams struggled, now it's Spencer Ware. Damien Williams looked like he could be a number 1 running back in this league, so I'm sitting Spencer Ware. I don't even know if he's healthy.
Okay, folks. My start for the week, the Titans defense. I'm going to take it from a defensive special teams area. They're playing
right, that's
Washington.
What our viewers want to hear.
Well, hey, listen, you got to think of every facet in fantasy, and defense is one of them. You're going against Josh Johnson and the Washington Redskins, who have done next to nothing the past 2 weeks.
Is Josh Johnson not better than Mark Sanchez?
He is,
Okay.
but they still suck.
No, it goes to show you that they didn't even get the third-string quarterback right.
Right.
That team.
Anyway, so I could see the Titans pull off a couple of turnovers, sacks, you name it. I think they're getting at least 15 points in this one, and that is very good in fantasy. My sit, Keenan Allen. Listen, he killed me. Don't be another Puma, all right? That's number one. Number two, he's expected to play, but who knows if he's going to be on a pitch count, a snap count, whatever it may be. You're playing for your fantasy life this week. You want to win it all. Do you really want to trust Keenan Allen and he's in there for 2 series and gets pulled out because Mike Williams and Terrell Williams and the Williams brothers are getting most of the targets? No, you don't. Don't start him. And that's our fantasy sits and starts for week 16, our last one, actually. On a side note.
Yeah, and by the way, not you, by the way.
Okay.
If this isn't our last week and someone asks for week 17, we'll do it, but you really should not be playing. Your fantasy playoffs should really be done by week 16.
Yeah, I'm going to do them the favor and not give them a week 17 because...
I'm just saying, if someone asks specifically, then I think we should do it, but at the same time...
Yeah, what are you thinking?
What league are you in that's going to week 17 when, it seems like this year everyone's actually going to play. It doesn't, we don't have... You know what? Maybe the Chargers are in that category.
Well, you know what it is.
Who knows?
Let's explain to the viewers because we got to have some new viewers out there. I saw some new subscribers on our channel. Why don't we play week 17?
Okay,
and the reason why we don't is because in fantasy, once you get into the playoffs, obviously it's best to go week by week. Those 2-week matchups, okay, they're fine. But, what if you dominate 1 week and the following week the other person dominates? That's not how it works in real football. So we've tried to translate fantasy to the real thing. That's number one. Number two is week 17. Okay, if you guys ever noticed, that's probably the most upset week of the year. Why? And the answer to that question is because half of the other team's starters are not in.
Yeah.
Half of them are not in. Do you remember who was week 17 starter for the Rams last year? Yeah, Sean Mannion.
Well, just like Mahomes for Alex Smith last year.
And then how about a couple of years ago when the Jets made it? Who was their starter for the Colts? Oh, wait, his name was Painter. Something Painter.
Curtis Painter from Purdue.
Another cheese ball.
You know what? It was the same. Speaking of Week 17, Matt Flynn got his major contract from the Seahawks because of that Week 17 game he had against the Detroit Lions for Aaron Rodgers.
So the moral of the story is don't play Week 17.
Yeah. I don't think we should. Well, let's move on because that Week 17 fantasy match.
I will say, Puma went out this weekend. Not weekend. This past couple of days. And he bought some business cards, some JFP Sports business cards. And I still relive it. Why? Because D Nanas, he's not here to defend himself. He'd probably call me a cheap SOB. But I said to him, D, why can't I pay for the cards on December 20th? He goes, Puma, why do you want to pay for them a day later? I go, because my credit card cutoff is the 19th. Why would I want to pay for them on an early? I see the statement in January. I don't want to see this charge until February. Why would you want to do that to yourself when you're getting through the credit card month,
the holiday month? They look good. I think we can all agree, but the time between Thanksgiving and the New Year's, we'll say, it's a difficult time money-wise.
I'm living at Costco.
Right. Puma's living at Costco. Other people are living at outlets. Some people with a lot of money are living, at the designer
at
stores.
Tory Burch.
Right, but at the same time, I think we can all agree it's a lot easier to spend money than it is to save in these last, let's call it 40 days, or so. I guess we'll call it 35, 40 days. So,
and all I wanted to do was just see it on that February statement, and he just ripped it from me. He ripped it from me. I know I'm crying river right here, Phillip River. But moving on to some sports, because that's what we talk. Manny Machado. We're moving to MLB now. Manny Machado was in the Bronx yesterday.
Speaking of money bags, Manny Machado.
Yes, Manny Machado is in. Jeez, what do you like to record my voice? Yeah, Manny Machado was in the Bronx.
No, I was thinking of money. We were talking about money, and then I was thinking of money bags Machado. That's what I'm going to call him.
Dinero. Yeah. All right. Rick, do you like this move of them showing out the red carpet for Manny Machado in the Bronx Do you even like him with the Yankees? And the third part of this question is, he comes to the Yankees. Right? Let's forget about what they're paying him. What's his future position? Is it third base? Is it shortstop?
I think it's shortstop.
Okay.
I think you have
because of the size too.
The size, he's a natural shortstop. I think what made him such a good third baseman was that he was a natural shortstop. We saw the same thing with A-Rod. A-Rod was a natural shortstop. He moves over to third. I like him. Look, assuming they're rolling out the red carpet, I'll say I don't love the fit. I think he's got a lot of Robbie Cano in him.
You've mentioned that,
right? And
like we need any more of those guys,
right? I already
Gary Sanchez and Gleyber Torres. Right. Like we need a bunch of those,
right? I don't need a guy coming out. I don't need a guy coming out from day one already being accused of not trying. You know, it's
and stepping on people's foot.
Yeah, I don't like to see. And I think it was to Jesus Aguilar, I believe, in the NLCS. Yeah. I think it was the NLCS.
He's a real scout boy,
right? Jesus Aguilar is like the big. He's like Pablo Sandoval, who actually makes the playoffs. I mean, he's the nicest guy. No one says a peep about him, and Manny Machado stepping on the back of his heel, I guess. Look, he's a natural shortstop. Put him at short. I think Didi, his health has to be a concern. I don't want to see the red carpet, but it seems like the Yankees have already moved past that.
Yeah.
So I think you have your infield set. I don't know if it's Luke Voigt at first. Maybe you just continue to fill every 2 or 3 years, but then you have Gleyber, you'd have Manny long term, and Andujar, unless they trade Andujar. Or maybe I think Didi's a good candidate for third base, to be honest. I think if you decide, maybe for this year you keep Andujar, you get someone else to fill. But at the same time, you bring in Manny, I think Didi can move to second or third. If you want to put Gleyber at third, maybe you do that. But if Andujar is going to be shipped out.
To me, okay, well first, I'm coming, now you're in the camp of signing Manny Machado.
I'm not in the. I don't want him.
You don't want him?
No, I don't want any. I don't want him at the price that he's going to be. Of course, I want Manny Machado. If it's for $200 million, it's going to be what? I think we would agree it's at least $350. I don't want him for that. I don't want to give him 9 years, $350 million.
Well, let me ask you this: who wants who more? Does Manny Machado?
I think the Yankees want him more because who wouldn't? Because who wouldn't take Manny Machado? Who wouldn't take the best shortstop in baseball?
Well, here's where I come from. Okay, I feel like. Let's do a little history lesson.
All right, history. You're good at history.
I am. His story. Break it down. Manny Machado. Where does he come from? The 305. He comes from Miami. His idol, Alex Rodriguez.
I don't want to hear that the Marlins should take him again.
I
want a different view. Or the Rays. I don't want to hear this.
Let me get to my allusion. So, what I'm alluding to. So, Manny Machado. His idol is Alex Rodriguez. Grew up in the same state. Okay? Probably idolized the guy forever. All right? Played the same position as him. Shortstop. And got moved to third. Like Alex Rodriguez. Where's number 13? Like Alex Rodriguez. So my point is, until he got traded and he couldn't wear 13 because upstate Muncie had it. But...
Well, that's why A-Rod couldn't wear 3.
Right.
Because it was already taken here in New York.
So... both 13, played for the Yankees. This means probably 0. But at the All-Star break, Pedro Martinez asks Manny Machado's nephew, this is before he was traded, where would you like to see your uncle go? And the kid's first reaction is the New York Yankees. I think Manny Machado wants the Yankees more than the Yankees need him. And here's why. The Yankees don't need Manny Machado.
That's not what you asked me. You asked me, do the Yankees want him?
No. I said, who wants more? No. I said, who wants who more? Does Manny Machado
I think the Yankees want him more, but I never said the Yankees need him.
No. But I feel...
They don't need a guy who doesn't try hard.
No, of course. Well, yeah, they got a bunch of those anyway.
Right. Who pay less? Who they could pay less?
Right, and they get $500,000. This guy's getting like probably $40 million.
Right.
Anyway, so back to the point. I think I'm in the camp of getting Manny Machado. And I believe Manny Machado wants to be a Yankee. And I believe the number is 6 years, 270.
6 years?
6 years, 270.
Why would he sign for 6 years when he can guarantee himself?
And he could probably get After 2, an opt-out.
Well, what is that going to do?
If he doesn't like it, he can leave. But I believe
So why would he
kid,
even allow that opt-out?
Because he always wanted to be a Yankee. What are you not following?
No, why would the Yankees offer him an opt-out? Because then he can. What if the Cubs come calling and will?
Well, I'm saying, from a creativity
from
standpoint.
Who? For Machado or
from Machado's camp.
Okay, fine.
That him and his agent just want. Camp, that doesn't make any sense. No. Of course it wouldn't. But I'm just saying, from a creativity standpoint, well, it kind of does make sense because here's why. Sometimes you want the guy to take the opt-out, a la Tanaka. He didn't take the opt-out. He stayed. Therefore, you have to still continue to pay him. Now, say if Manny Machado does not pan out in New York. Say they get him. Say they sign him, like I said. You would want him to take the opt-out.
But if
because
he does,
because that second year, you see what I'm saying? That second year is kind of like his walk year.
Say it's 6 years, 250.
Right.
Okay. Opt-out after 2. Or 3. Sure. 2 or 3. We'll call it 2 because that's
he's still a young man. He'll be 29.
Sure, right. Say it doesn't work out. He's hitting 250, 25 home runs. People are booing him left and right.
Right.
He's kicking people in the shin. Whatever the heck he's doing, sure. It's not working out. People looking at him at 29 and saying, well, let the Yankees have him. Now he's on the books for the Yankees for 4 more years.
Well, look where I'm coming from. Every guy, and baseball fans, you know that, even football fans, when a guy, any sports player is in the final year of their contract or an opt-out year, all of a sudden magically they know how to play again. Tell me not.
No,
when A-Rod was in that opt-out year of 2007, all of a sudden he hit like he was Mickey Mantle. Why? Well, because he wanted more money and he opted out anyway. And Hank and Hal Steinbrenner gave him the money for another 10 years they were on the hook for from 2008. And you know what? They just got finished paying that this year.
Right, look at how that went.
Of course. But here's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you're looking at it from Machado's camp.
I'm trying to look at it from both camps.
But it doesn't make any sense.
No, you could use each other. Here's why. You get the money that we said, right? The 6 years.
Say 6 years, 270 with the opt-out after 2.
Okay, that second year, he's going to play like he's a free agent again. Most of the odds would say he's going to turn on fire. He's going to focus.
Okay, fine. He'll be motivated. Okay.
There's some motivation.
So then he's going to ask for another 7 or 8 years.
And you know what? Then you let him go because when you let somebody go, you get a Type A free agent. You're just trying to buy years and see, okay, what is he going to do from year to year?
I don't want to take Machado on in that I don't want to call him a headache. I don't think he's at that point. He's not a Reggie Jackson or something like that. But I'm saying I don't want if you bring on a guy like Machado, you move Andujar, you could move Didi, not move, but or maybe change positions or whatever. It changes your team. I'm not willing to do that after 2 years.
Well, here's
for 2 years, I should say.
In anything in life, we should take it step by step. So say they sign Machado. Okay, the first step is you get him in.
6 years, 270 with the opt-out.
Whatever that might be. He's going to be in camp by March. Fine, he's in there. Didi's not coming back till July, August.
Right. Okay, he's out for at least half the season.
Machado's your shortstop. You got Andujar at third.
Okay.
Play it by ear. The deadline is coming. Didi is coming. Now you could probably flip Andujar for a starting pitching or something that you need by the deadline. It's supply and demand. The Yankees have that plethora of minor league talent, of young talent coming up, very cheap talent that a team like maybe Pittsburgh, maybe I don't know, Cleveland will be out of it. Well, whatever. Yeah, whatever low market is.
They'll take Andujar.
Right. Is looking
to try to turn him to a star.
Tampa Bay Rays.
No, I get where you're coming from, but what I'm saying is give Manny the 8 or 9 years he's looking for and cut it off after 4. Don't cut it off after 2. First of all, no one think about it like this.
I think it's enticing to cut it off after 2 just for the mere fact.
For who?
For Machado's game. But I feel like it's enticing. Yeah,
but he wants to sign on for longer than 6, though. God forbid he gets hurt. Can't play ever again.
But of course, but here's where I'm looking at it from. Sometimes you have to make whoever you're dealing with believe that you're doing the best deal for them, but you're also doing a good deal for yourself. You still keep him motivated. Yes, you're paying the money up front, right? It's a shorter contract, 6 years. You're paying him up front. But you use that second year as leverage for him to actually produce. Who knows better than you and I? Somebody like Pujols, somebody like Josh Hamilton, all these guys
of course.
who have signed major long contracts, what happens to them? All of a sudden, they get lost.
Hamilton's tough.
Eric Hosmer. Well, he signed what? 145, 154 last winter at this time with San Diego.
Padres,
yeah. Where has he been? So you see what I mean? When those guys sign
let's not compare Hosmer to Machado.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying, from a historical standpoint, when these big free agent fishes sign, you start to lose them. Where did they go?
I'm not disagreeing. You're looking, but you've got to pick a camp and decide.
Well, why can't we do best for both?
Because the best for Machado would not be a 6-year after 2. The best for Machado would be an 8-year or 9-year with 4 after 4 or 5.
Well, you see, you're looking at it for year security, which is not bad. But also, I'm looking
at it because
I'm front loading the money.
Fine, from the Yankee perspective,
yeah.
Sure. And if I'm not talking about the front loading or back loading, that's fine. Well, whatever you want to do, they could work that out. Fine.
Value.
But what I'm saying is, look, Machado knows that opt out is coming after 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. Whether it's 4 or 5 is irrelevant. So he still should be motivated through the first. If he truly wants,
he still should. I should. I should not pee on the grass. But
But what I'm saying is, after the 2 years, it's like, say he does walk after that, and say, I don't know, the Braves come calling or the Phillies, whatever, and then he leaves. For 2 years, you gave the guy what, 85 million, 85 million.
All right, let's say 2 years he gave him 70. Let's say 35 a year.
Well, 35 times 6 is way more than it's
35 times 6.
That's 210.
Okay, so let's say 40 times. Okay, 80. Yeah, 40 times 6, 240.
Million. Yeah, right. So you gave him 80 million for 2 years, and the guy walked. If you don't win, if you do not win,
you're saying that you're going to have that 2-year window, and
that's what you're saying.
Right,
that's not what I'm saying.
Right. No. That's what I'm saying. You're looking more of the long haul.
Win championships. Because if I bring Machado here, I'm not looking to dump him off by 2021 or whatever. That's why I'm saying.
Here's the thing for Cashman's side of it. Okay, he said,
I'm still on the record for saying I don't want him to begin with.
Right. But we're doing the for instance game.
Okay.
Brian Cashman said he wants to win championships with an S. Okay.
Right. We
all want to. We all want.
Right. Of course. Okay. We want him to win 10 in a row. Of course. We do.
But when is 1 going to come? And then 2. And then 3. First, we got to get the 1.
The way the Red Sox are playing, I don't know if anyone's coming.
So that's why you sign this man and you give him the mindset of, we're loading up for 2 years. We're loading up. You know what? You sign him, and I'm ready to ship Gary Sanchez to Miami. Give me Real Muto.
Oh, right. Well,
that's what I'm ready to do.
We're not back on this.
What do you mean we're not back on this?
Why would Miami take Gary Sanchez back?
Because he's young and he's cheap. He's young,
that doesn't
cheap,
make any
controllable.
Sense.
Real Muto is going to need a contract in a year and a half or so.
But the deal, the 3-team deal between the Mets, Marlins, and
the
Yankees.
Now I'm saying forget about the Mets.
Just the Yankees and the Marlins?
I'm just saying.
Then they'll ask for Andujar back. They're not going to ask for Gary Sanchez back.
Sanchez and...
Well, think about it. Why would you... Real Muto and Sanchez are the same position.
Well,
you would be you would just be downgrading.
No. I don't think you're downgrading.
The Marlins aren't downgrading.
Oh, I'm talking from a Yankees perspective.
Oh, no, the Yankees are upgrading, of course.
Okay,
he's the best catcher in baseball.
From the Marlins perspective, right? I'm asking for Gary Sanchez
and
whoa.
I'm
not giving you Andujar.
No, fine.
No. You know what?
Justice Sheffield? Who?
No, he's already dealt, bro. He's already dealt for James Paxton.
No, but I'm saying, who, like someone of that caliber?
Like an Abreu, the A-ball pitcher.
Oh, come on! I don't.
What do you mean? Come on!
I don't want to hear this. I'd rather give him Clint Frazier.
No, I'm not giving away Clint Frazier. But look,
right, the guy had a concussion, couldn't even play all season.
His value's low.
All right.
No. Okay, yeah.
It's the same thing as the A pitcher.
Rick, I look at it. No, his value's up right now. But look, I look at it from the standpoint of I might need Clint Frazier down the road. Anyway, to deal because I think he needs to prove himself again, get his value back up. Now, that's like trading Thor right now, and his value is not at an all-time high. It's a low right now.
Who's got more value, Thor or JT Real Muto?
Oh, Real Muto.
No chance. It's completely Noah Syndergaard.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my God.
Noah Syndergaard.
Are we going off? Okay, are we saying right now or 5 years from now?
No, right now.
Real Muto.
No. How would you say 5 year from now? Because JT Real Muto is younger.
Okay, but also,
so then that would make sense that Real Muto would be, you know what I'm saying?
It could go either way, but listen.
Well, how is
Thor-
Syndergaard going to have any less?
No, I say real. Syndergaard has more value going forward. Obviously, pitching to find a good pitcher is hard. Let's just be real.
That's why I say that.
Right.
Because if he's healthy, we can make the argument he's the best in the National
League.
But
look what you just said, because we're off on this tangent.
What, the healthy part?
Manny. Yeah. You just said health, okay? I can't remember when TJ was hurt. Thor has been hurt like 5 different times.
What about James Paxton? He hasn't pitched a whole season ever.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had Tommy John either.
Oh, all right, but the guy's missed.
We're all over the place right now. But okay, going back to Machado.
I think to sum up, I say I don't want Machado to begin with, but I would say if they're going to give him the security, 8 years, 9 years, I'm going to say it's going to be between 3 and 350, which that's probably about right. And the opt out after 4, maybe it's 4 years, 130.
Yeah,
you're going to go the opt out after 2 for 6 years.
Yeah.
You're willing to give a little bit more up front, try to keep him motivated, and if he walks, he walks. I'm trying
to build something to win.
I get that.
Today.
And I think maybe where we differ is you think the Yankees can win tomorrow with Machado.
Yes.
I still don't believe they can, and maybe that's where
a piece here and there, but.
Right, no. But I'm just saying, like, I look at the Red Sox, and they're just more of a complete team.
You get Machado, I think you're as good, if not better, than the Red Sox.
Well, yeah, right, and that's a great thing about sports. I think as long as you have an opinion behind the debate or behind the situation, and you could justify it, that's fine. I think I completely get where you're coming from, and I'm sure you get where I'm coming from. But I think to sum it up, look, if Machado wants to be a Yankee, they're going to figure it out.
Right,
and those are reports. If he doesn't really want to be a Yankee, then the Yankees will sense that, and they'll let him walk for more money. So I think that we'll sum it up at that. But before we finish up, we have our 3 weekend wager games. I'll go first. We'll go tick for tack.
Yeah.
My first will be, I'm going to say the Houston Texans on the road at the Eagles +1.
That's like a pick 'em.
Nick Foles. I mean, I know he went to LA, but LA's not playing well. Houston, they're going to hold Nick Foles to 17 points.
You know what I realized about this? I need a catheter when we do these shows because we just go so back and forth that I'm going to pee on myself. Anyway, moving forward.
Who's your first one?
I love Tennessee -10. I think they're just going to obliterate Washington. And I just think the Tennessee defense has really played up to form.
Yeah, they held the Giants to nothing last week.
And all of a sudden, Derrick Henry looks like he's back at Alabama again.
Yeah.
So he's mauling over people.
It's a little interesting.
Second pick.
I'm going to go with the Saints at home -5.5 against Pittsburgh.
I
know Pittsburgh beat the Patriots. I don't think the Patriots are anything great. I don't think the Steelers are anything great. I think the Steelers will really struggle on the road. I hate to say it. The Saints haven't looked great, but I think they get home. Drew Brees, Kamara, Ingram, Michael Thomas, Keith Kirkwood, Benjamin Watson. I know he's 1,000 years old, but I just think it's too many weapons. And that run defense, I don't think you're going to see James Conner. The Steelers are too one-dimensional.
I love taking those big games that you might think I'm crazy, but +14 Arizona, I love. Here's why.
Are they home against the Rams this week?
They are home.
Yeah, that's Phoenix. A lot. That's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points. You're looking at probably not playing Gurley. That's number one.
He's very hit or miss.
Right.
Very hit or miss. Won't be 100%.
No, and it's like that Keenan Allen situation. Maybe he plays a couple of snaps, maybe he doesn't, but they have that West locked up. They're not killing themselves to win that game. I'm telling you that.
Absolutely not.
Moving on, Rick, what's your third one?
Kansas City at Seattle. We differ on this. I think it's not this. If this was Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner, I'm with you. Michael Bennett, I'm with you. This isn't that team. Mm-hmm. I think they get it done. I like what I'm seeing out of Damian Williams and Spencer Ware. I think they get it done. I'm going to go Chiefs, -2.5.
Okay. You know what? I'm going against you. +2.5. Seattle, they're getting points at home. The 12th man is going to play in effect. They're playing for a wild card. And you know what? Kansas City's defense stinks. And I think it's more the magic.
I like the Seahawks long term.
Yes, and I love Russell Wilson playmaking ability. I see a lot of Tyler Lockett in this game. He's going to get 2 touchdowns. And Russell Wilson rush, I'm taking Seattle, +2.5. All right, folks. So Puma's got to go to the bathroom, and Ricky's probably has to go eat something. So, in conclusion, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at JFP Sports, and as always, follow us at JFP Sports on Instagram. In the great words of Dr. Seuss, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Till next time, folks.